helping your children cope with coronavirus facts and fiction. So many of us are thrown out of our comfort zones, our regular routines, and we are stuck at home right now, and it's impacting all of us. It's especially impacting kids. And if you're a parent, you have to really focus on making sure that your child's mental health is being taken care of right now. The reason is the kids are freaked out. If you're at all nervous, scared, upset, agitated, they're feeling that even if you're not talking about it. They're also hearing things from news sources, from you discussing it with other adults, and they're not asking a lot of questions. Why? Because they're kids. They'll ask questions about certain things, but not about other things, not about the things that really scare them deep down inside. So how can you make sure that you're taking care of yourself, but also focus on your children's mental health? There's several things that you need to be aware of. First of all, children have really active imaginations, so discuss coronavirus with them, discuss what's going on, but leave the detail out. Every activity that they're in at school and in their books, their reading, their activities, the little projects that they do involves imagination. Their imagination muscles, if you will, are really buff. They're worked out and they are ready to work. So the more detail that you give them, the more they have to chew on to draw conclusions. And most of the time when we're drawing conclusions about things like this, they're not on point. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're answering the basic questions. What is this thing? Why can't we leave the house? Am I going to die? Should I be wearing a mask? How long is this going to happen? All of those things. The number one thing that you can do as a parent is to stay calm, take care of yourself, make sure that you are emotionally regulated, and entertain these questions. You don't have to entertain the questions 24 hours a day. You can have a set time of day that you guys talk about whatever they've heard that day, any concerns that they have. Give them a journal, something to write down their concerns and their feelings. That might sound like something that a kid wouldn't want to do, but my girls are eating it up. They're writing down their feelings, they're writing down things that they've noticed during different parts of the day when they've practiced mindfulness or they've been in their online learning, and they're sharing them. It's actually opening up an entirely new way for them to share what's going on in their lives. So definitely limit news exposure for kids right now. There's so many things said, opinions given on the news, people criticizing each other for how they have or have not handled this, their decisions, things of that nature. Make sure that you're limiting their news exposure. You be their news source. You be their source for emotional maturity and stability. And then also understand that right now they do know what's going on. They know what's going on with you, even if you're not talking about it, because they can feel it from you. They're these little sponges. There's another thing that you need to really be aware of when it comes to children and mental health. When a child begins to develop anxiety, many times they will go into a pattern of thinking that is seeking reassurance. What that looks like from a parent's perspective is my children or child keeps asking me the same question over and over again, and it's driving me crazy. If that's happening to you, take a deep breath. There's a reason for it. Your child's subconscious mind is trying to find a safe and happy place. And it doesn't have a safe and happy place right now because of all of the unrest. Their schedule's disrupted. They can't leave the house. They're quarantined with you. They're not used to being around you this much. You're not used to being around them this much. Everybody is thrown into what should be their comfort zone, which is their home. But when you're there too much, it's not even a good place to be. So when your children are asking questions, what their subconscious mind is really looking for, like I said, is that safe place. They're seeking reassurance. And so there's several things that you need to make sure you're doing. Number one, be calm. If it's not a good time, if you're not in a good mind frame to answer it, just look at your son or daughter and say, that's a good question. I'm not in the place mentally right now where I can have that conversation, but why don't you write that down and then we'll discuss it at dinner, or we'll discuss it in an hour, or whatever timing will work for you. Validate the question that they're asking, even if it's the same question that they've asked 85 times before. Validate. I understand that this is a concern of yours and that's a good question. Can we give it some talking time a little bit later on today? This isn't a good time for me. You have to model for them that you have good boundaries. You have to model for them that you know how to manage a schedule, because you need to be managing their schedule. Something that all of us want is regularity. Give that to your children. If they're in an in-home learning environment and that's not what they usually have, my girls usually go off to their schools, give them a schedule. This is the time you're going to wake up in the morning. This is what you're going to do then. Here's this. Then we're going to learn again. Then we're going to have lunch, and then we're going to have some exercise time, whatever you're doing. Make sure that they know the schedule, that they can identify with the schedule, and that they can hold you accountable on the schedule. It will give them some stability, and it'll give them something to feel really good about so that they don't feel so out of control. Part of what's so hard about what's going on right now is that we are all out of control. This isn't a vacation that we all chose to take. This is being forced on us. So we're usually in control, and now we're not in control. They are usually not in control, and now they're in even less control because the people they look to be that stable control center are off kilter. Whatever you do with your kids, make sure that you're calm, you're understanding, and you're patient, and let them know when you need some alone time, because you're going to need some alone time. It's okay that you're having a little too much family right now and you need a break. It's because you're not used to that much family right now. Go easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Model that for your kids, because you want them to be kind to themselves too. If this has been of use to you, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and look down in the description of this video. There are tons of links, freebies, things that can help you get through this time. We're having some free sessions if you want to come and come to our virtual lunch hour or virtual happy hour, doing some things like that just to help support you during this time. No charge, no questions, just time together and support. So please take advantage of that. We would love to see you. So make sure you check out the video description and leave me your thoughts. Leave me your questions. Go down into the comments, type in any questions that you have. I will look at them. I will get back to you. I'll answer in the comments, and I'll record another video if you've got a really good question that other people may want to know the answer to as well. I'll record a video just for you and stick it up here, and then you'll have that as well. I'm Dr. Jane with Guild Coaching, guildcoaching.com. Until we see each other again, stay safe.